Hello and welcome to Talladega Superspeedway down in the deep south of Alabama for our season finale of the 2015 Red Light Truck Series, first season. I'm your host, Jeremy Patterson. I'll be flying solo tonight. My buddy Matt is down there on the track trying to put down a good qualifying lap, and we'll see how he does during the race. Tonight the boys will be racing for 50 laps on this 2.6 mile plate track. It has up to 33-degree banking in turns 1 and 2. Cars are fitted with restrictor plates, meaning that the racing here is all about the draft and getting linked up with the right partner. You'll see cars driving 2, 3, 4 length chains, and they get quite a speed boost by doing that. So that's what it's all about here. Pace speed tonight is 80 miles an hour. Pit road speed limit is 60 miles an hour. Drivers get 2 quick resets to help them keep running in the event of a mishap. And next season we'll be reducing that to 1 quick reset, and eventually we'll get rid of them altogether. Lucky Dog is in effect tonight, meaning that in the event of a caution, the first car that's a lap down will get a wave around to regain a lap. And let's have a look at our current season standings. Sean Butler has clinched the title, so he will be the champion, second season in a row. Pretty much unstoppable this season. I was looking at some stats today. He's actually won 14 out of the last 17 races he's run with us, so pro level driver there. And behind him, Max Terrio, John Fershing. John could move up to second if he has a really good day here, and Max has a bad day. And Nate LaFleur is only a few points behind John for that third spot, so those guys are definitely going to be fighting for that podium position, and we'll keep an eye on that. And just a reminder to our viewers, go to redlightleague.com to see our schedule, standings, photos, and more. And here's a look at our schedule for next season. We'll be starting June 1st, running the Xfinity B car. We've been running trucks for several seasons now, so that'll be a lot of fun. And a couple of changes this season. We're going to have longer races. We haven't quite nailed down the number of laps for each race, but we'll get that shortly. But expect the races to be about 20 to 50% longer than they have been. We're also adding a chase to the end there. You can see that our last 4 races will be the chase. And our top drivers will get their points reset, and they'll be racing for the chase at the end. And good mix of tracks there too. Auto Club, Darlington, Charlotte, and Bristol on that chase. So it is going to take a lot of skill. We designed that to make sure that it's not just going to be a driver who happens to be good at cookie cutters or good at super speedways or whatever the case is. You got to have good rounded amount of skills here. Alright, and let's go down to the track. It looks like qualifying has finished. And there's your qualifying order. William Kirk takes pole with a 52.148. Followed by Nate LaFleur, John Fershing, Sean Butler, David Howard. David's one of the new racers. He just joined us just last week. He raced with us last week, raced with us this week. I've driven with him a lot. We've spent a lot of time side by side. I look forward to having him here in our league. So 14 drivers on the track tonight, and you can say they are getting lined up, getting ready to go. And while we're waiting, remind the drivers and viewers to check out NAVSCAR Racing League. That's NAVSCARRacingLeague.com, or you can just type in NAVSCAR.com and it'll redirect you. They're our sister league. We're going to be running some races with them in the coming weeks. And I will be racing at that league. I'm excited about it. I haven't been on the track very much since we started broadcasting, so it should be a good time. And our first race with them, this is the flyer for it. You can see it'll be Open to Red Light and NASCAR League members, so both leagues sitting together for this race. And that'll be 100 laps at Miami in the Xfinity B car. Drivers are rolling out. Pace car's taking off. We're doubled up, and we'll be going green here shortly. And we'll go ahead and run you through the grid here. Up in row 1, pole sitter William Kirk. Next to him is the 81 of Nate LaFleur. Second row, you have John Fershing and Sean Butler. Sean Butler, as we already said, has clinched the championship title. Row 3, newcomer David Howard and league admin Tim Lewis. Row number 4, we have the 42 of Max Theriault. He joins us from Canada. Matt Breckel. Normally up in the booth. Tonight he's down on the track, so it'll be fun watching him. Row 5, we have the 8 of Jamie Christensen. He's also one of the league admins at NASCAR. And newcomer Jason Garrett. And you can see his number starts with a 9. Something we're going to do new. All the new drivers will get a 9 before their number for their first season. Next row back is Joshua Butler and Joshua Buckley. And rounding out their grid is Kevin O'Brien and Christopher Hurlow. And pace car is getting ready to dive off, and we're going to go green. And the season finale is underway. And keep in mind that start-finish line is well past the center of the tri-oval here. A little bit different at Talladega. Normally at Daytona they'd have already crossed the start-finish line, but right there is the start-finish line. And William Kirk will lead that first lap. And he's being pushed by John Fershing. So drivers mostly sorted out here. However, up on that outside row, you have David Howard and Tim Lewis. They're trying to make that outside lane work, and they're linked up pretty good, but man, that's going to be hard to catch up. Let's go on board with Tim Lewis here and see his point of view. And you can see they are making some ground on that left lane, but they got a long way to go. And when it comes time to start switching here, once their temperatures come up, it could cause a little bit of trouble. You can see how steep this banking is here too. This gyro cam, it's level to the horizon. You can see just how far that truck tips over on that banking. And Tim is definitely linked up good with David Howard. I expect to see these guys moving pretty well here. You can see him starting to go past that 99. Just kind of hard to make that lane work when you only have two cars. Now, if they could get that 99 out there with them, I'd expect to see that train move up there pretty quickly. Kind of surprised they're not moving up quicker than they are, to be honest. but they are holding their ground. They're not losing. They are gaining a little bit. Looks like they're just about around the 99. And now it looks like they're going to the outside of the 8 of Jamie Christensen. Whoa, David Howard goes real high. Looks like he's letting Tim go under. They're going to do a little switcheroo here. And they'll lose a little bit of ground while they're doing that, but they'll get right back in line. And William Kirk, John Fershing continue to lead the way. Right behind them is Nate LaFleur as well. And William Kirk, John Fershing, these guys are hooked up really, really well. And you can see Tim Lewis and David Howard, they have fallen back a little bit behind the rest of these guys. Christopher Hurlow is kind of hanging out there by himself. And Matt Breckel and Kevin O'Brien, these guys are trying to link up and see if they can catch up. If they can catch up to Christopher Hurlow, then the 3 of them might be able to make a run. But right now, they are losing the pack. They're 4.3 seconds behind the leader right now. And where Christopher Hurlow is, I expect these guys will probably catch up to him pretty quickly because he's all by himself. Christopher's running about 5 or 6 miles an hour slower than Breckel and O'Brien, so they'll catch up to him shortly. Meanwhile, up front, William Kirk continues to lead. We'll see how many laps he and John Fershing can stay linked up like this before John needs to get some fresh air. And you see Jamie Christensen stepping out now with Joshua Butler right behind him. Pretty soon these guys are going to start swapping around. Well, really the only guys who are linked up real tight right now are William Kirk and John Fershing, so I'm interested to see how long they can last like this, and that'll kind of give us a measuring stick for the rest of the race to know how long these guys can go. Meanwhile, further back, Matt Breckel and Kevin O'Brien have caught up to Christopher Hurlow. So these 3 are going to pick up the pace a little bit and try and get back up there in the field. William Kirk, John Fershing starting to make a little bit of a gap between themselves and Nate LaFleur. And it looks like these guys are just biding their time. No one's being too aggressive. That's a smart way to play it right now. looks like Tim Lewis and David Howard have fallen way back. That outside lane maneuver they tried just kind of hurt him a little too much. Jason Garrett's right there. If the three of them can get linked up, they can move a little quicker. And this group here in the back, Christopher Hurlow, Matt Breckel, Kevin O'Brien, they're still linked up, so they're maintaining that speed. Back up front, William Kirk continues to lead. I'm kind of surprised at how long they've been going. We're coming up on lap 12 now, and they have not had to switch yet. Let's have a look at our current running order. William Kirk, John Fershing, Nate LaFleur, Sean Butler, Max Terrio, Joshua Buckley, Jamie Christensen, Joshua Butler, Tim Lewis, David Howard, Jason Garrett, Christopher Hurlow, Matt Breckel, and Kevin O'Brien. And I apologize, I said qualifying order at the top. That's actually the running order, and that's still in the same order. Had the wrong header up there. Let's go on board with Joshua Butler. You can see he's got Jamie Christensen right there, but if you look way up in his front view there, you can see that other group of cars, and those guys just, it's like they're right there. You think you can get there, and they just keep crawling away from you. Ooh, Joshua Butler looks like he might have got a little bit of loose coming out of turn 2. Kind of dove down to the inside apron a little bit. Take it back up front. Still very close pack up here. And looks like a couple cars are pitting. William Kirk and Sean Butler have some kind of a strategy going on, because this is pretty early to be pitting only on lap 13. And I'm interested to see what pit strategy they take here. Oh, it looks like Joshua Butler is down there with him too. Joshua Butler, okay, looks like these guys just took fuel and went, so I think that's what they're doing. They're just, I didn't see any tires get taken. So they just stopped, got enough fuel to finish the race and took off. And the three of them are going to be able to maintain their speed if they stay linked up. That could be the strategy that wins the race there. New leader, John Fershing, followed by Nate LaFleur. And let's have a look where that put these guys who pitted. You can see all three of them are linked up. They planned that, and they planned it well. But the leaders are coming up right behind them. Let's go on board with leader John Fershing. You can see those three right up there going into turn 1. Now they're out of view, but they're not far behind these guys. So Kirk and the Butler brothers both stayed on the lead lap by pitting and just grabbing fuel and taking off. And if they don't lose any ground to these leaders, like I said, that could be the strategy that wins this race. Meanwhile, Max Terrio has linked up with the number 2 car of Joshua Buckley, and they are going to give these leaders a little bit of a challenge, I think. They're catching up to them quick. Ooh, little contact. Nate LaFleur almost goes around, but he hangs on to it. Let's have a look at what happened here. You see LaFleur just gets into Pershing just a little bit. I guess I exaggerate a little bit. He didn't almost go around, but always scary hearing that metal on metal contact. All right, take you back live, and you can see the leaders now passing, lapping that is, the number 7 of David Howard, the number 4 of Tim Lewis, and the number 8 of Jamie Christensen. That's pretty incredible. Actually, I take that back. Those three just they pitted. That makes sense now. I was really surprised there for a second. How the hell they already lap them? Yeah, those guys, they pitted. Looks like they did about the same thing. 8-second pit stops, and they linked back up. So they're using a similar strategy as that other group. So it looks like we're going to have 3-car groups here. And these guys did lose a lap. Remember, they were quite a ways behind the leaders, whereas when the Butler brothers and Kirk did it, they were the leaders. But I don't know if it was luck or really, really good timing, but these guys being back in this pack like this with the leaders, even though they're a lap down, they can still utilize that draft off the leaders and maintain their speed a little bit better. And back behind them a little ways, you have that trio, William Kirk, Joshua Butler, and Sean Butler. And these four actually are the 4 that are furthest back that have not pitted. That's Christopher Hurlow, Matt Breckel, Kevin O'Brien, and Jason Garrett. And then in front of Christopher Hurlow, jump all the way up here to Joshua Buckley. He's got a 12-second lead on that group back there. So right now it looks like we have 4 distinct groups. We have the lead group, who have not pitted, and that would be John Pershing, Nate LaFleur, Max Terrio, Joshua Buckley. And you can see there the timer, all their seconds start with zeros. Then we move on back to this group, 12 seconds behind. We have Christopher Hurlow, Matt Breckel, Kevin O'Brien, and they are pitting now. Oh no, Matt Breckel and Christopher Hurlow get into each other pitting. That could mess that strategy up. I don't know, they ended up pointing in the right direction. It may not have hurt them that bad, but I have a feeling they're going to get a penalty for unsafe entry. That's going to hurt them really bad. Let's have a look. See what happened here. Let's go on board with Matt Breckel. And yeah, you can see he just didn't get it woed down quite enough. And wow, got right in the side of Christopher Hurlow. Not sure if Christopher slowed down early or if Matt slowed down late, but either way, they didn't coordinate that right and had a little melee. Race does stay green though. And we see Matt Breckel, looks like he's heading out on his own right now. So yeah, that really hurt the strategy there. You can see they've gotten way split up. And there's Matt. Looks like Christopher left the pit quite a bit earlier. He had a 7-second stop. Matt had 17 seconds. I believe he might have had a penalty to serve there for unsafe entry. So up front, your lead four, John Pershing, Nate LaFleur, Max Terrio, and Joshua Buckley. They're the only ones who have not yet pitted. And those top three are in one group. And Joshua Buckley, you can see back here, is at the tail end of this other group with some of these lapped cars. Once they come into pit, Buckley will he'll catch right back up with these guys. And I'm not sure how much longer they can go on fuel. I did not do a fuel run before this race. I usually try to get one in and just didn't have time to get it in this week. So after that boggle up on pit road, we still have our lead four that we were just discussing, followed by the group of three that pitted first, Joshua Butler, Sean Butler, and William Kirk. And everybody else is a lap down. John Pershing, Nate LaFleur, they got a really good run there. Nice big gap behind that next group. Or back to that next group, that is. And I think we're going to see him pit this time. They're going, no, maybe not. It looked like they were headed in, but they're not. So these guys putting a huge gap on this next group. Max Terrio and Joshua Buckley, remember, they have not pitted yet. And that's that 42 car there, Max Terrio, and the number 2 of Buckley. They're now going side by side into turns 3 and 4. Tim Lewis and David Howard on the outside. Let's have a look and see if our leaders pit this time by. We are on lap 28. And I'm wondering if they might just be waiting for a caution. Just run the fuel out as much as they can, hope for a caution. Joshua Buckley, Joshua Butler, the other two that are still up here in the lead group. And you can see Christopher Hurlow and Matt Breckel have linked back up. So I suppose there's not too many hard feelings between the two. Working together, trying to gain a little bit of ground back. And looks like they're doing a good job drafting, maintaining a pretty high speed. Just as fast as the leaders right now. And speaking of the leaders, we're still keeping an eye on them, seeing when they're going to pit. And this trio, Sean Butler, William Kirk, and Joshua Butler, they have almost caught back up to the leaders. Oh, actually, I take that back. They're still, yeah, they're still a good ways behind. Yeah, in fact, what I meant to say was the leaders have almost caught up to that pack. The way the camera moved kind of messed me up. The leaders have almost caught up to those three. However, they are going to have to start pitting here pretty soon. So these guys are not making it easy on me keeping track of who's where. Different pit strategies. Everybody has their different partners and strategies and kind of breaking off into little groups. I think I'm keeping decent tabs of it. I'm just wondering how much longer these guys are going to go. I'd be willing to bet, and if we get to talk to one of them at the end of the race, we'll find out if they were just trying to stretch it out and hope for a caution, because at this point, you really gain nothing by pitting any earlier if you're not going to take tires. And we see Tim Lewis and David Howard coming up on the outside around Jamie Christensen. These guys may get their lap back. They can gain a little bit more ground. They're going to get up there and get a lap back. Wow, the two of Joshua Buckley has fallen pretty far behind. I did not see what happened to him. He somehow lost that group. And he is on his own right now, going a lot slower than the rest of these guys who are drafting. And that's not going to bode well for Buckley. And just a reminder on our season points, Max Terrio, John Pershing, Nate LaFleur, Joshua Buckley, all four of those guys fighting for those upper positions. And Butler has already clinched the title. And look at this. We got the number 4 of Tim Lewis and the number 7 of David Howard. They are working their way up there. Now remember, these guys are a lap down, and here they come. The leaders are finally pitting. Whoa, they almost had a little mishap there too. Max Terrio just about got into the back end of Nate LaFleur. And let's have a look and see what these guys do. Looks like it's fueling out for all of them. So nobody getting tires anywhere during this race, which makes sense. Tires really don't mean quite so much here. And Joshua Buckley went in with them. Pershing is still sitting in his pit stall. He may have been serving a penalty. Not sure what happened to Pershing there. He was either a penalty or perhaps some damage. And we are down to 17 to go. So up front, Nate LaFleur leads the way all by himself. Max Terrio and Joshua Buckley. They are linked up. They are about 3 seconds behind Nate LaFleur. And about 9 seconds behind those guys is that initial group, Joshua Butler, Sean Butler, and William Kirk. So I'm going to zoom out here just so you can kind of get an idea of where everyone is on the track. That's the front trio there that we were just talking about, the Butlers and Kirk. Behind them you have John Fershing, Christopher Herlo, and Matt Breckel. Now, Herlo and Breckel are a lap down. Fershing is on the lead lap though, so these guys are going to help him out, try and get back up there after that long pit stop, and see if he can contend again. And up here we have our leaders, Nate LaFleur, Max Terrio, and the number 2 car, Joshua Buckley. So kind of broken off into their own little groups here. No more pitting to go, unless there's a caution. And even then, I would be surprised to see anybody pit and lose that position. Ooh. Terrio moved up the track a little bit. I was a little nervous that Buckley was going to hook his left rear, but he backed off. Good patient driving. 15 to go. You really don't want to mess around at this point. So there's your leaders. The 3 who initially pitted. And next is Fershing, Herlo, and Breckel. Herlo and Breckel, remember, are still on the lap down. And behind them you have David Howard and Tim Lewis. And those guys are linked up, and they are on the lead lap as well. But with them being, they're 12 seconds behind the leader right now. Probably not going to make it to the front without a caution. As they do their little switcheroo. And poor Jamie Christensen, caught out here all by himself, is definitely losing a lot of ground. Kevin O'Brien and Jason Garrett not far behind Christensen, so the 3 of them might end up linking back up. And there's your leaders again. So this pack right here, I think they may have had the winning strategy, assuming we stay green. I kind of thought it was going to be that first group that pitted, the Butlers and William Kirk, just because when you break off just the 3 of you, you're not battling for position, so you feel like you can get a good streamline and just rock it around the track with nobody in your way. But maybe staying in the pack was the way to go, because these guys have a 7-second lead. And you can see Joshua Buckley, he's in the back of that pack. And you can see there on your screen, Joshua Butler, who is the front truck in the next pack, is 7 seconds behind, and with just 12 laps to go, probably not going to be able to catch up. And I'll just keep this graphic up for a little bit and see if they gain any significant amount of ground. That second group does. But as we zoom out our blimp cam, you can see that these guys have a lot of track between them and that next group, so pretty safe here. Now the real exciting thing to watch is all 3 of these guys work together so well this whole race. Which one of them is going to go for it? gets a little loose there. Looks like he might have caught the apron a little bit. And you can see that they are whittling that number down. We're now 10 laps to go. And Joshua Butler is 5.7 seconds behind Buckley. When we started looking at this graphic a little bit ago, that was a good second or two further behind. So who knows? Maybe we'll see something. I'd like to see that other group get up here and at least challenge them. Now let's see what this other group is doing differently, because I don't know, if they must just be linking up a little bit tighter, maintaining their lines a little bit smoother, because they're really catching up fast. Go back up here, look at that. They are whittling that time down. Now we're 4.5 seconds. They gained almost a full second that lap. And once they get to where they only have about a 1 second gap, this lead group's draft is actually going to pull that back group in. And that'll bring them right in. You might see this back group just shoot right past these guys. Look at them. They're gaining so much ground. 4 seconds now. And earlier when I zoomed out, you couldn't see that other group on the screen. Now you can. They're on the right side. Kind of hard to see them. They look like little dots or little ants going around. Such a huge track. But you can see that group there. With 9 laps to go, they may give them a challenge. They're gaining almost a second a lap, so they can do it. They definitely have the speed to do it. And let's go on board with Joshua Butler. He is the leader of that second pack. And as he comes out of turn 3, you can see the leaders right there. I'm sorry, out of turn 2, you can see the leaders right there going down the backstretch. They got him in their sights, and they're gaining fast. And you can see now, as the laps go on, I can zoom in further and further and get all these guys in the shot. They are making a run. And let's have a look through the rest of the field while we're waiting on those guys to see what happens. Back here we still have this trio: John Pershing, Christopher Hurlow, and Matt Breckel, still linked up. Coming out of turn 4, you have David Howard and Tim Lewis. Going into turn 3, Kevin O'Brien and Jason Garrett. And Jamie Christensen is still on the backstretch all by himself, and just doesn't have anybody to link up with. Oh, and I missed something because Max Terrio has fallen away from that pack. Terrio is now between the leaders and the pack that first pitted. And he's going to continue to fall back. Let's see if they go around him or if they pick him up. They have a run on him. They may just go right around him. He can try and fall in behind him, though, and pick up their draft. And you can see Terrio there on the inside. Those guys going around on the outside. Let's go on board with Max Terrio. You can see they got it right around him. Now Max is trying to grab that draft. It's like trying to grab a rope from a boat that's running away from you at full speed. You got to get it just right, or you're just going to lose it and watch them wave goodbye. And I think Max has managed to catch the draft, so he can maintain himself with them. It's close though. He's barely there. Yeah, he is definitely linked up with him now. Okay. Whew. Thought he was losing that one. So let's go on board with Joshua Butler now. And look at that. Earlier, you could barely see these guys in his view. And now they are right there. And pretty soon, Joshua Butler is going to start catching these guys' draft, and that's going to slingshot them right around the leaders, I think. They got 4 laps to do it, so coming down to an exciting finish here. I was a little worried the race was dull in the middle, but these 3 have really done a good job of catching up, and they're going to make it pretty wild here at the end, I think. So the top 6 trucks are all within a second of each other now. And here it comes. Woo, that almost got hairy. They held on to it. Oh! Sean Butler gets kicked out. Sean Butler goes around on the front stretch. Race stays green, everybody keeps going. Oh, a little bit of contact was all it took that kicked Sean Butler out. His brother Joshua Butler is still in the lead, but he has nobody helping him now. And look at this, the 9 of William Kirk now is helping him. But they got 3 guys right behind him. If these 3 link up, they can take that lead right back. And now looks like the 15, I'm sorry, the 81 and Nate LaFleur. Oh geez, these guys are all over the place now. Pretty sure they just gave the race up. Not sure how or what happened there. Kind of want to see a replay, but we're on the final lap. Go up to our leaders here. They're about to pass Jamie Christensen, and that'll put Jamie a lap down right there at the end. And I do believe Joshua Butler has a shot at his first win at red light. But William Kirk is not going to just hand it to him, I don't think. Let's see if he can challenge him. I don't think, nope, he's going to push him right in. So, oh, he dove down there. Thought maybe he could grab it, but he didn't. So congratulations, Joshua Butler. Joshua Butler gets his first win at red light in the 99 Chevy here at Talladega. Well, that turned out to be a really wild race there at the end. All right, so let's have a talk with our top 3. Joshua Butler won the race, William Kirk in second, and Max Terrio bringing up third. Josh Butler, congratulations. This is Jeremy Patterson in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4.
What a wild finish. You guys, I said it early in the broadcast that there's no way you guys are going to catch up, and you made me eat my hat because you guys did it and you did it well. What was your secret?
I don't know. I think we were going to switch. We were making up so much time. We just decided to keep it us three, me, my brother, and Kurt there in third. And I have to say thanks to them and thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast.
All right, good deal. It was a lot of fun to watch. Tell us about your pit strategy. You guys pitted before anybody else. What was the thought going into that?
Yeah, my brother came up with that. He just said let's early and get off sequence, and he did the whole fuel mileage math, and we.
Yeah, you did it. You guys did well. It was a lot of fun to watch. What happened there at the end? I saw your brother. Something happened, and I didn't get a chance to go back and watch the replay, but I saw him get kicked off the track there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. He got loose, and I hit him. He hit me. I don't know.
Wow, yeah, it looked like you guys just sort of wobbled, and sometimes that can happen coming out of those turns when you're close together like that at these high speeds. Unfortunate for him, but worked out good for you. I mean, you were up front anyway, and congratulations. And will you be racing with us next season, Josh?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Hopefully I'll be back next year.
All right, good. Looking forward to it. Talk to you later.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
William Kirk, this is Jeremy Patterson. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, good job pushing in Butler for the win there. I thought you were going to dive down on the tri-oval there, but it looks like you just pushed him right in. That was good sportsmanship, or did you have something else up your sleeve?
Well, when we were, with all those guys, and I thought maybe they were going to be there at the end, because they were the whole time. I thought they were going to be right behind us, and they were going to make a run for it. But whatever happened to them where they dropped way back, I told Josh, I said, Josh, I'm not going to try to pass you. Don't worry about it. Just go. Just stay on the line and go. And then whenever those guys fell back, I went, all right, Josh, plans changed. They're gone. I'm going to try to get it. And, but no, I just decided that, we all three worked so hard for it. I was perfectly content finishing second. And so I just didn't try. I just was like, yeah, I like this. I consider it a win whenever I push someone to the win like that. So I just was like, this is fun. It's good enough.
I know that feeling. I probably sound like a broken record on here because I mention it all the time, but I pushed Tim Lewis in for a win one time, and it did. It feels like a win when you do that because you helped another guy get a win. You qualified pole, led the first several laps. It looks like you led 12 laps. So good job on that. And you're going to be racing with us next season.
Definitely plan on it.
All right, good deal. We look forward to it, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And going back to what you said about how it feels like a win, I think I yelled louder than Josh did in the in our game chat. So, yeah, it was
Awesome.
Cool. It was a good feeling. It just sucks that Sean couldn't be with us.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask you. Josh said he didn't really know what happened. What happened there with Sean?
I thought I got into him and I turned him, which was weird because I didn't push him any harder than I had all race. And then he told me it wasn't my fault, and I went back and looked at it. What happened was he hit Josh at an awkward angle, and Josh got loose, and he got loose, and I think he checked up, and then I hit his left rear quarter panel, which is the worst place you can hit someone, obviously. So on top of him being loose, him getting out of the gas after he just hit Josh, and then me hitting him, he just said that he just got hit all at the same time, and it just was too much for his truck. It was no single person's fault. It was just all three of us. Just it just happened.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It just looked like one of those things. You guys did an awesome job though with your pit strategy early and coming back there at the end. I was telling Josh I had to eat my hat because I said probably 10 or 20 laps to go. I said, these guys, there's no way they're going to make it. They're 7 seconds back, and then next thing you know, you guys are going right around them. So good job on that.
Yeah, when they came out, they were 9.2 seconds ahead of us, and me and Sean didn't think they had pitted yet. He goes, all right, guys, once these guys pit, we got it. And I go, Sean, they have pitted. They're the leaders. And he said, what? There's no way. And I said, dude, they're the leaders. And he goes, oh, well, good race, guys. And I was like, we just gained a second in a lap and a half, Sean. Don't do that. And then The next lap we gained a second, and then we just kind of stuck there for a bit, and then the next lap we gained a second, and the next lap we gained a second. So we kept fighting and didn't give up, and we made it there. So that was crazy. I didn't think we would either.
There you go. Whenever the chips are down, keep going. I've had races before where I thought I was done for and ended up getting a really good finish out of it. So congratulations. We're glad you raced with us this season. We hope to see you next season and in the B car, and we will talk to you later, William.
10-4, good sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Max Terrio, congratulations on another pole. You guys almost held those guys off. Tell us about the finish there.
Yeah, let's just say it's not the finish that I expected. A couple of guys ran out of fuel, and I did not see that coming, especially because I pitted with Nate and Joshua there, and I was good to go for many more laps. So anyways, it's still a third place finish at Talladega. I'm going to take it, and really enjoyed this season.
Excellent, and we hope you race with us again next season, Max. We enjoyed having you here. You've done really well, and I do expect to see you getting in that win column a little bit more too, because you really do a great job out here every week.
Yeah, I'm excited to jump to the B car, Xfinity car, whatever the name it is, and run some different tracks also. And I see that we might have a couple of guys coming over from another league.
Yeah, we'll have some guys from NASCAR Racing League are going to come over, and some of us are actually going to go over there and race. During the off-season, we're going to have a few races with them, and so that'll be a good time. It'll be our league and their league together, so you don't have to be in both leagues. You only have to be in one, but the idea is just to kind of get people back and forth between the two leagues and get our numbers up, get their numbers up, and get some good drivers in here. Get some more good drivers in here, I should say.
Yeah, bigger fields, and since we can run clean, this is, I think it looks good for the future.
Yeah, it really does. We're glad to have you with us week after week, and we do appreciate your consistent participation, and we're going to try and get that out of all the other drivers and have some big fields here. So thanks again, Max. Congratulations, and hopefully we'll see you during the off-season and a couple of those fun races, and definitely see you next season.
Well, thank you very much. Good job on this season 2 to anyone who was involved, and looking forward to next season this summer.
Excellent. Thank you, Max. All right, so exciting finish there. And finish to the race, finish to the season. That'll finish us out. Sean Butler does take the championship, so congratulations to Sean Butler for the championship. And once again, congratulations to Joshua Butler, race winner. Everyone knew Butler was going to win tonight. They just had the wrong one. And we'll just have one more look here. In 2 weeks, we go to Miami in the Xfinity B car, and that will be red light and NASCAR. Just a note to the drivers who are watching this, since that's going to be listed as a hosted race instead of a league race. You can have your preferred number set up in the iRacing paint shop. However, it is first come, first serve, and I know a couple of their drivers and a couple of our drivers have the same number. So if you want to ensure you get your number on the truck, if that matters to you, try and get there as early as possible. The practice will start at 6 p.m. Qualifying will be at 8, and the race will go at 8:05. So a little bit different times than what we normally do. Take note of that. And it will be broadcast here live on RLN. And next season, here's our schedule again. You can find this schedule on our website and on our Facebook page. We'll start off at Homestead, Miami on June 1st, run an 8-week regular season and a 4-week chase. And that'll be in the Xfinity B car. More details will follow on our website shortly. And that'll do it for the race. That'll do it for the season. We do appreciate you tuning in and joining us. And we will see you on May 11th.